Welcome, friends, to the PW Fan. The PW Fan is a podcast created by fans for fans, and we appreciate you listening to episode 165. I'm your host, the architect of pro wrestling podcast, Andy.
I'm also host of the No Sellers Indie Fan and football lover, Jeremy.
All right, Tim will be getting on here soon. He's a little delayed, but this week, big week, guys, big week.
Big week.
This week, the bulk of it is going to be Elimination Chamber, which history-making stuff went down. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be doing some predictions for the upcoming pay-per-view this weekend, Revolution, and much, much more. So before we get started, please follow us on all social media at the PW Fan. So yeah, let's get right into it. I wanted to talk about real quick this past week on NXT. The Hardys returned to WWE.
Oh yeah,
Had a tag match, and I believe at NXT's Roadblock, they're going to have champions versus champions against Fraxium. So I'm looking forward to that. It just felt right seeing the Hardys walk.
It felt right, yeah, in WWE.
Yeah, it was good. So let's get into Dynamite. I know we missed last week. Tim and Jeremy were both sick for multiple days.
Yeah, that was rough.
And we just were like, we'll get back on track eventually and have consistent shows.
Yeah.
Okay. Dynamite this week. Hangman had a quick match and called out MJF. MJF would appear on a video, and it looked like he was getting his AEW tattoo removed, is what was supposed to be.
Yeah, that's what was supposed to be in that video, yeah.
Did he actually do it? I don't know. But
do you think it was even real then?
I really don't know. I mean, at the
just
time, it looked like it, right?
Planned it the whole time.
That's a long-term game. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
And so he's basically saying he's back to being in it for himself and not for the fans and all that.
Yeah.
And then he showed Christopher Daniels backstage, who had been attacked. I don't know how MJF can be getting a tattoo removed and be attacked backstage, but it is professional wrestling, so blur the lines of reality, right?
Did you see that was the thing with Christopher Daniels getting attacked backstage, and they cut to him, and he's like,
"Oh, I don't know why I missed that part."
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter, but they were like, "Why would you cut to your guy who's bleeding?" And it like cuts him. He's like hitting himself in the face.
Jesus. So I'm gonna mark the clip again, and then we'll pick up. Ready? All right. So after that, we had Will Ospreay defeating Brian Keith in a match. The Outrunners surprisingly defeated the Murder Machines. They are now the number one contenders for the Hurt Syndicate. They're going to get destroyed. After that, we had a swerve segment with Ricochet. You know, he's still coming out with that robe. Nana, you know, basically talking about how disrespectful it is. And also talked about Swerve going back to the Swerve that everyone loved. The most dangerous man, right?
Yeah. I actually liked. I'm liking this Ricochet, even though because he's so annoying that I'm like, okay, this is kind of a good heel now.
Yeah, it's just I'll agree. I like it. I like it more. It's kind of like the thing with like Dominic at first, like, God, I just hate you because you just fucking suck, and you're making me hate you because you're like annoying. And he's still doing the laugh. So
the laugh is what I think got me over the line. I'm like, okay, this is not bad.
Yeah. All right. We had the Undisputed Kingdom defeating FTR and Daniel Garcia. Cope would take out Claudio and Marina Shafir with help. This would include a concerto from Willow. Kind of caught me by surprise. Willow's, used to being the nice girl.
Yeah.
But, I believe it was a little while ago, Marina attacked her. And then we had Harley Cameron racking up another win, this time over Deonna Purrazzo. And the main event was Takeshita retained the International Championship against Orange Cassidy. Collision, there was not much.
There never is on Collision.
No. Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong would defeat FTR. Daniel Garcia versus Adam Cole for the TNT Championship. I mean, this could have been cool to have a winner, but it ended in no contest because the Infantry and Lee Moriarty would attack. Queen Aminata would defeat Julia Hart, and afterwards Brody King would check on her. With Brody's back turn, Okada would come out and attack Brody with the title and flick him off. This is after an earlier backstage face-to-face confrontation between Okada and Brody. So that's cool. You know, I'm glad Brody, now that Malachi's gone, Brody and Buddy are, you know, doing some single stuff. They're in a group, but they're not a tag team.
Yeah.
You know, they're not doing tag team things. So, and then there was a video from Kenny Omega to promote his match with Takeshita. Talked about his time off. Talked about beforehand, Takeshita beat him like twice in 1 week. One in Japan, I think, and one in America on AEW. I mean, that's it really for Dynamite. I mean, dude, they put Collision on the same night with Elimination Chamber. It's just like,
there's times where like I feel like there's gonna be like we're gonna get like 20 people watching, and then that's kind of it. They just have to accept it,
or just do a live show or something. Just don't air it. I don't know, man. Or just know your numbers are gonna be low that day. Just realize
it's probably going to be really bad for this past Saturday, but also like it's never good in the first place because no one watches that on Saturday. It's a hard time.
And for the people that did choose to watch Collision over Elimination Chamber, God, you fucking missed out. Woo! All right, let's get into some Revolution predictions, shall we? On the pre-show, fuck, I can't believe they're still around. Big Boom AJ, Orange Cassidy, and Mark Briscoe versus Johnny TV and MXN. It's going to be Big Boom AJ. So
I mean, of course it is because like I don't understand this. No one likes them. I thought.
All right, MJF versus Hangman Adam Page. I feel like Hangman's on like a losing streak, but I think MJF. I'll go with Hangman.
Yeah, this one. I just feel like that one MJF.
If MJF wins, it's not clean. Let's just say that.
Yeah, it definitely won't be clean.
It'll be a low blow or a ring or something like that. Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher. This will be 2, right? And this time in a steel cage.
Probably match of the night.
Okay. Kyle won the first one, so maybe Will wins the second.
Yeah, he definitely is going to win this one. Yeah.
I'm sure they're trying to milk it for what it's worth. Swerve versus Ricochet, number 1 contender for the AEW World Title. So, I'm trying to like picture. So if Swerve wins, he could face Adam Copeland or Mox. If Ricochet wins, he could face Adam Copeland or Mox. Where do I? I mean, I feel like Swerve is the better pick for both of those matchups.
Yeah, if it's Swerve, and then also I think Copeland's going to win because I mean I kind of actually hope that he does because his mock stuff is not doing anything.
Terrible. Ricochet won the match in Atlanta, I believe, so maybe Swerve wins this one. I'm going with Swerve. All right, AEW World Tag Team Championships, Hurt Syndicate versus Outrunners. I say Hurt Syndicate fucking destroys Outrunners, unfortunately.
It feels like it's going to be like that. I feel like, I don't know. The Outrunners actually they like went in the there was like college basketball team that won something, I forget. And they actually went into the locker room and did like this promo, whatever, and they started beating up a trash can. And then everyone around them started like jumping around. It's like actually pretty funny.
Oh my god! I think I saw that actually. Now that you described it. So you got Hurt Syndicate for that too, Jeremy?
Yeah.
All right. TBS Championship: Mercedes Moné versus Momo Watanabe. Anytime it's this an AEW versus a New Japan star, I can't even say if she's New Japan star, but she wrestles in Japan. It could be Stardom. It could be something else. I'm gonna say Mercedes retains.
I mean, Mercedes feels like she has to win at least the whole year to make that contract worth it.
AEW International Championship, Takeshita versus Kenny. I'm going with Kenny, man.
Yeah, well, it's his isn't his first match back in AEW, right? Or no, that was
singles match.
Singles, yeah. Because I was gonna say he did have that one before, but I think it is definitely Kenny.
Okay. AEW Women's World Championship, Toni Storm versus Mariah May in a Hollywood ending match. What is a Hollywood ending match, Jeremy?
Who knows? They just made it up, but Toni Storm's winning this one.
Me too. I agree. All right, AEW World Championship, Jon Moxley versus Adam Copeland. Please, for the love of God, make Cope win.
That's basically what I'm saying too, because we need this story to be over with Mox.
It's just stupid briefcase, or does Cope win? And then for a second time, Christian screws him. Remember, he has the contract.
That's right. Yeah, that would actually be really good.
Dude, it just always comes back to Christian.
That's crazy though. I totally forgot he still had that.
Yeah, they haven't been showing it, and so it's going to be a surprise. People are going to be like, "Oh yeah," when he comes out, because he's been feuding with the Ops. We didn't go over. That's their new name: Shibata, Samoa Joe, and Hook. Fucking kill me.
Yeah, I don't get them yet.
Neither do I. All right, so that wraps up everything AEW this week. Let's get into Raw. Logan Paul would open up the show. I mean, a lot of this is go home stuff. A lot of this is hyping up, matches, the elimination chambers. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, all that jazz. So after a promo, CM Punk would come out, and basically the takeaway from this is Logan Paul slapped the shit out of Punk and made him bleed. That's what I got out of it, at least. Tim,
I'm here.
Tim
Sorry,
is here.
Little one had a late nap, so she went to bed late. But I'm here.
All right. We just started Raw. So last week on Raw, Logan Paul, I said open up the show and ended up slapping Punk very hard in the face.
Yeah, with a little blood drawn.
A little blood drawn.
You know what I hope is that this doesn't lead to a Punk and Logan Paul match at WrestleMania.
Andy and I were literally saying that, dude.
When we were watching the Chamber.
Yeah, because I was like, that better not happen.
But based on what happened, I don't think that's where it's headed. With Punk, what happened with Punk and the Chamber.
What a good episode, guys. I know that we got a lot of cool stuff coming up, so
a lot of cool stuff.
I walked in, I said, wow, that's a lot of cool stuff. I said, wow.
The second I said wow.
John Cena didn't even wear a suit. I walked in, I said, how come you're not even wearing a suit? Put a suit on. John.
Ludwig Kaiser would defeat Penta and Pete Dunne in a really good match. Of course, Pete Dunne would take the pin in this one. We'd have Jackie Redmond and Rhea Ripley do an interview in the stands. How do you guys feel about the stands interview lately they've been doing?
It's fine.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of like more old school, I think.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more sports box. Well, not really. But it feels a little bit more legitimate than pretending to not look at the camera backstage kind of thing.
Yeah, I got you. I mean, no one else is really doing it. So
WCW used to do interviews like that, where they'd interview.
That is a cool shot to have, the crowd in the background too. Yeah. I like when they do that.
Yeah. The New Day, who have been, I think this is their second time maybe having their new music and everything. They defeated the LWO and went to attack them afterwards. Dragon Lee would come out. This is all coming off of the New Day. Taking out Rey Mysterio. The Judgment Day backstage tensions continue. Fans noticed that there was a little demon-like lunchbox right above Finn's head. Things don't get placed without reason, is what I'm starting.
Not these days. Not when Triple H is booking. You got to be looking for everything.
No, my hope. What I think I was telling Tim is, we'll get Finn versus Dom at Mania. All right, but I think the year 2025 might be Balor's year to become
So
a top guy again.
Booker Andy is predicting a big year for Balor. If by the time we get to 2026, if it was a big year for Balor, I'm gonna say, Andy, you're impressive. The Booker Andy.
I picked the chamber winners. We didn't do a prediction, but I got the receipts from before the chamber started. I picked it. I said who I wanted, but also who I hoped. And
that's gonna be crazy.
Who I wanted, but who I thought was gonna do it.
Elimination Chamber 2025. You mean the craziest night in the history of pro wrestling?
At least in a very long time.
The night that hell froze over and the world changed.
Vince was watching and was like, "This is bad shit."
Yeah, well, he's bad shit. He can stay at home.
Yeah. Well, he also loves shit. All right, so yeah, Judgment Day tensions continue. We had Gunther. He had a promo against Akira Tozawa. Would defeat him pretty easily. Otis afterwards would step up to Gunther. Jey Uso would come out and attack Gunther. Again, continuing the storyline. It's always weird, like the storylines that go on from Rumble to Mania that don't end at the Chamber. It's like they have to find 2 months worth to like milk this. Always,
But I think that's good. Some organizing can happening, and then that way when we get into Mania, everything's going to be real, set in stone. No stones left unturned. No man left untested.
Is everyone watching Raw at the moment?
Have you guys? There's this old Bret Hart
No.
There's this old Bret Hart documentary where Bret Hart's practicing a promo, and he's talking to Jim the Anvil, and he's like, "I'm not really sure what I should say here." And Jim the Anvil's like, "Why don't you say something like, we're gonna go in and we're gonna leave no man untested?" And then Bret goes, "I don't like that."
I don't like hearing it.
But it's just funny how he was like, "Nah, I don't like that." Leave no, and then he tries it again. He's like, "Hang on, leave no man untested." And then he was like, "No."
How he grabbed the straps.
Yeah, and he was like stretching them, and then Brett's like looks at him and he's like, "Still no."
No, but I asked if y'all were watching because the next thing I'm going to say, of course, it's one of those times where who I'm talking about is already on the screen. Lyra Valkyria retained this past week her Intercontinental title against Dakota Kai. This would have been, a rematch from the finals in the original Intercontinental tournament with them two.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker would defeat Dominic via DQ. Carlito and Finn would interfere, and there'd be a nice little Finn and Braun face-off before Finn would
Big
slide
year
out
for
of the ring.
Finn, starting with Braun.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, let's go. Well, there was already the tease with the AJ stuff. Finn, Braun, and AJ. Yeah.
Dude, I want that Mattel figure of AJ with the black trench coat.
It's available. They did a pre-order. Yeah,
they did a limited one, Jeremy, of Goth AJ, where he did the dark AJ for a little bit.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I want that one.
It looks great. We had a Cody Rhodes segment with Seth Rollins, who addressed. I guess we should say, because we missed it. The week before this, Seth Rollins is addressing the whole Rock wants Cody's soul thing. So. Cody and Seth had a promo about this, and then Liv and
what?
Of course
we were so wrong. Everybody was, all the fans. We were all
trust the process.
We were all pooing on it. Oh, the soul's stupid. Blah blah blah. Boy, were we wrong.
Trust the process, man.
That's what I've learned from all this.
Like The Rock said, just enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride
is
that The Rock is taking you on.
You want to shut your mouth.
See,
right.
I know we didn't get a chance to talk about it because we didn't do it last week, but I thought the actual idea of it, like the soul thing, was always good, but the execution of how Rock did it was terrible.
Cody,
he talked in circles.
I want your soul.
He's like, we're friends. We're friends. Brothers. We
Well,
could be brothers, but
he
we're
was
friends.
the final boss. He was the people's champ. He was the board of directors. Rock all in one promo. It was weird.
Well, did you see that Sam at the press conference? We'll talk about it. But
Yeah,
Sam
he
Roberts
asked about it.
said, "What's the deal with you
So the
doing
final
that?"
boss is all of it.
He's like, well, you're in and out. One day thing, you're this, and The Rock's like, that old school wrestling promo where he just stays to this. He's like, yeah, that worked. He's like, but we're doing a new thing. The Rock's doing his own thing.
He's like, he's like, final boss is all of it.
I was like, I guess.
Okay, all right.
I don't like that in the press conferences. I don't like that Rock.
I don't like. Hello. I did like it though, where it was like after breaking the whole world, he's like, hello. Well, that was a fun night.
Oh.
It's like all quiet.
Well, you guys aren't watching Raw, but Punk is on the screen right now. Angry.
I'm watching Raw when we're done.
Okay.
No
Well, I have it
ruining.
muted, so I don't even know what is being said.
I also
Andy,
have
don't go ahead, right? We're
I
not
also
supposed to
have-
go ahead.
Miles Morales Spider-Man downloading right now.
Oh, all right. Well, let's try to
What?
stay on topic.
Miles
please.
Morales Spider-Man for
Tim will
PS4?
talk about Spider-Man for a while.
Oh, those are the Into the Spider-Verse ones are the best ones.
So fucking good, dude.
Well, he has the game.
The games for PS4.
downloading.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, the Miles Morales one I think is better than the original Spider-Man one.
That's what my friend Derek. He loves the Miles one. Like I asked him, he's like, I've been letting my kids play Spider-Man, and I was like, oh, I've been playing. He's like, no, not that one, the Miles Morales one.
Not that one.
That's good. All right, main event on Raw though was Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defeating Bianca Belair and Naomi to become the new women's tag team champions. And that would wrap up Raw, and we'll get back to those ladies a little bit later. SmackDown. Cody. It opens up with Cody being escorted to his own private dressing room. The Rock tried to butter him up on this episode.
Was she top dollar?
Trish Stratus would officially open up the show.
You
Tiffany
said he got
Stratton
an
would come out.
escort.
I said he was escorted.
No, sorry, I misunderstood.
Oh my god. Trish Stratus would be the official open up the show. Tiffany Stratton would come out. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. This would lead to Chelsea versus Tiffany. Afterwards, Nia Jax and Candice LeRae, or during it, Candice LeRae and Nia Jax would interfere. There was no winner. This was taking place in Toronto, in the stadium nearby, the one that the chamber was going to be in. And so, good reaction for Trish in this whole thing. Nick Aldis announced a U.S. title chase. LA Knight versus it. So I'll just explain it. 3 matches: LA Knight versus Santos Escobar, Carmelo Hayes versus Braun, and Andrade versus Solo. Winners will face each other later on the night and become the number 1 contender for Shinsuke's title. Now, the reason why this got put off is because Shinsuke's brother passed away, so they had to shift plans.
Well, I didn't
Shinsuke
know that.
couldn't
Now I
be
feel
there.
bad. Now I feel bad for calling him shit stain. All right, Shinsuke.
Look, you didn't know.
I didn't know. Now I feel bad. I
Tim
was
has
just
a heart. Tim
I
has
was
a
just
heart.
joshing. I was just pulling legs here, busting balls.
Well, at least Andy didn't say the other thing that he said last time when we brought him
At
up.
least I didn't say what I said.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Backstage, Solo wants Jacob Fatu to run the play tonight, so the match was changed based on Solo's orders from Andrade to Solo to Andrade versus Jacob. And Solo says,
It's crazy how far down Solo has come.
I know. He said, everything I'm doing is to show you how much I love you, Jacob.
The thing is, it's hard. Like, we were already having trouble seeing Solo as that guy, and then you got Punk, you got Cena, Seth is in the mix. It's like, it's hard when you got all these dudes that are like stars, this guy's like, he trying to be one, but it's like not really working. I don't know, just in my opinion.
Still has good entrance music.
Oh, he's great.
Bum, 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 bum.
He reminds me,
Taking it all. Dude, it gets me hyped.
he reminds me of Samoa Joe, but I don't think for some reason
Dude, his facial expressions are so funny.
that doesn't work. I don't know. I want Solo to be that guy in like 2 years from now, where when we all didn't believe in Roman, we were like, Roman sucks, and then like after a while, you're like, yeah, Roman's the man. I hope that happens for Solo.
Well, I think Solo and Jacob are going to have a Mania match this year.
Well, that'll be good. Well, and they need to, because they're too similar. They can't be like part of the same like thing.
And then
They
Tom
gotta-
Galoa returns and fucks it up.
Yeah, he misses the
On
low blow.
accident. Yeah.
I saw like that, like a picture of him or whatever.
With all the
and, like,
titles, did you see that?
Yeah, that one. And then I was like, someone was like, or commented like, how many kisses does Rikishi have?
Oh my god. Not even his kids. Jesus. All right. So that being said, though, with the match change, we had the first match: Andrade now versus Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu would win. The Street Profits would come out to wrestle Humberto and Angel. DIY would attack both the teams. Motor City Machine Guns would come out. All four of those teams would brawl. Pretty Deadly would come out as well. So all the SmackDown Tag Team division, basically, this was the entire division, was out there fighting. Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre backstage, and Drew would end up basically saying Cody sold his soul a long time ago, and The Rock doesn't know it. Drew would then come out of the crowd. I love this part. This is the men's elimination chamber promo segment. So Drew would cut off John Cena's elimination chamber video. There was a promo on John. He did a promo on John Cena while sitting like Punk on an announce table. Damian Priest would come out, cut his promo. Seth would come out, cut his promo. And then CM Punk would come out. And after Rollins saying that he feels fantastic, Punk said, I'll start with you. He said, you feel as good as you look? Fantastic. Because you look like an oven mitt, and I cooked you January 6th, and I'll cook you again in the chamber tomorrow. You guys want to talk about Rollins' outfit?
That was a great line, first of all, from Punk.
When he said you look like an oven mitt, the camera, whoever was the cameraman or the guy in the production truck,
stupid outfit,
dude, he crushed it because it was like perfect timing. He's like, you look like an oven mitt, and then it was like the camera, like literally, like perfectly, like went over. It was so good.
Yeah, but like I think sometimes with those like things, I don't know, when it's a serious storyline like that too, I don't know. I feel like that doesn't fit it.
Well, speaking of serious, Punk said, y'all better get real serious tomorrow night, and I know it's going to be real hard for you based on the way you dress.
And then they showed it again. Then the camera went over again.
And Cena's music hits, but it was Logan Paul that would come out instead. He said, look at all these full-timers out here. Cena's not here. Classic celebrity wrestler. And then we'd be like, where's CM Punk?
Andy and
CM
I were
Punk's
both
like, I'm over here, you idiot.
I'm over here, you idiot.
And then he also, again, later would be like, Punk, I don't know where you are. And then Punk was like, if you're going to be this boring tomorrow, he's like, you're in for a real awakening.
Just based off like how Punk is as a human, his human rights, like stance, his political stance, there's no way that those two dudes could actually get along in real life. Like, I'm sure that they're business and professional, but there's just no way that they're friends. I can't picture it like at all.
I feel like when Punk doesn't like someone, he definitely has those like extra digs in his promos like that, where he's like,
if you're gonna be this boring,
yeah.
But fucking Punk basically buried Logan a few weeks ago when his music came. Punk was sitting on the turnbuckle and he just looks at the audience. He goes,
but didn't
even have to talk.
Punk's friends are like Aleister Black and Danhausen. Like, that's who he likes to hang out with. There's no way he's hanging out with Logan Paul, dude. Like,
no. Oh man. So after that segment, we had LA Knight versus Santos Escobar. Winner was LA Knight. We had a Sami Zayn segment in which this would lead to a Kevin Owens video. This is coming off of Kevin Owens watching Sammy's family the week before through the door at Sammy's house. Backstage, Miz tries to convince Cody to take the Rock's offer. He says, if you don't, maybe someone else will.
And this, Andy, you called this. When you said this, you said, I think they might be like planting something though. And I was like,
for a reason, man.
But I was
like, we'll talk about the hints from the past.
But I didn't think that it was going to be who it was.
Hayes. Braun Strowman versus Carmelo Hayes. Solo Sikoa and Tamatanga try to take out Strowman. Carmelo pulls an Eddie Guerrero and with the chair, tosses it to Strowman and lays down. Winner Carmelo Hayes. Roxanne Perez, Liv, and Raquel would defeat Naomi, Bianca, and Bailey in a 6-woman tag. Right, yeah, they won. Alexa Bliss would show up at the end and hit Roxanne with her sister Abigail finisher. So then that United States title chase would culminate to LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu versus Carmelo Hayes. Winner was LA Knight, who now becomes once again the number one contender. Backstage, we had Punk and Cody. Punk giving Cody advice about The Rock's offer, and he says, take the offer and shine up real good. Turn it sideways and shove it up his part-time Hollywood candy ass.
That's right.
Main event segment of the night was Cody Rhodes out in the ring with Michael Cole. The Rock had a brand new truck sent out with Cody's logos on it, and then The Rock would show up in a video which looked like he was at an airplane hangar. He was about to board his plane. Basically talking about how he awaits his offer tomorrow night at Elimination Chamber. Dun, dun, dun. Which brings us to the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view.
Chamber.
I
see a voice that don't mean so. Sorry, I thought we were in 2002
so
for a second.
You got real close to the mic with that one. It was loud.
He definitely did.
That's how I do it when I play live. I'm like, all
right. Chamber started off with the women's match. Liv Morgan, Naomi, Bianca Belair, Roxanne Perez, Alexa Bliss, and Bailey. Liv and Naomi are about to start when Jade Cargill's music hits. She comes out to the ring. She looks great. The door to the chamber hasn't closed yet. If you hadn't assumed who she was actually going to go after, you would think that she was about to go attack Liv. But instead, she starts beating the shit out of Naomi to the point where Naomi can no longer compete. She punted her into one of the chambers. She slammed the chamber door on her head, and Naomi gets taken out in a stretcher. I think we all called, I don't know about all the three of us, but a lot of people called that, since right after Jade got injured, Naomi replaced her as women's tag team champion with Bianca. So people were saying maybe Naomi's the one that did it, and it looks like we were right.
That's what we were saying from the start.
I see the blood all over your hands. Sorry, dude. I got Survivor Series 2002.
No one I know will ever die.
No one I know will ever die. Ho, ho. Have you heard that song, Jeremy?
Yes.
So bad. Your mom and dad will never die.
I was reading Tim's daughter a book to bed, and Tim's just standing there laughing to himself.
Because I just kept thinking of it.
Yeah.
Well, the dark part of it, Jeremy, you got to get a little dark for a second. I said the reason why that makes it so funny is that's supposed to represent like 2010, 2011. And yeah, when you're 2021, you think like no one you know will ever die. And then the fact is that I know this is terrible, but dude, I've lost like 12 people since then. So it's just the song is
my mom
dark.
And dad will never die.
That's up next, unfortunately.
All right, so after Naomi gets taken out, Liv is left by herself. We wait for the next chamber to open, and it's Bailey. So then we get Bailey, then Roxanne, then Alexa.
We are young.
I knew he was going to interrupt me. It comes down to Liv and Bianca as the last two, and winner was Bianca Belair, which I called. I have the receipts. I said I want Alexa to win, but I think Bianca's gonna.
Would you have the receipts? How'd you say that?
I have the receipts. The text message receipts before the chamber actually started, because we didn't show prediction. We didn't do predictions last week.
Show prediction.
So tonight on Raw, it's supposed to be Io versus Rhea. Winner faces Bianca at Mania, and I'm saying it's going to be Rhea. So let's just say Rhea and Bianca are going to.
I think Bianca's going to win then, because I feel like Rhea's beaten her the past couple times.
I guess. It's fine. We already had a whole Bianca Io feud before anyway, with Damage Control. Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. This wasn't a long match, but it was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't really necessary. It was obviously for Toronto and Trish. Trish's kids were in the front row. Tiffany and Trish
Yeah, it
had.
didn't need to be any longer than it was too. I
Yeah.
think.
Trish and Tiffany were wearing Toronto Maple Leafs inspired gear. And yeah, Trish and Tiffany would end up winning in the end. And then we had Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn in an unsanctioned match. Man, I went back and watched this. There were some gnarly ass spots. So
Yeah.
you know the suplex where they just put one hand behind the shoulder. Kenny Omega does like a double. It's like the quick.
Yeah.
Fucking Sammy did that to Kevin onto the chair in one spot. Sammy did a tiger bomb or a blue thunder bomb.
Thunderbomb.
Blue Thunderbomb.
Yeah. Onto two chairs that had the barbed wire chair sitting between them.
Sammy went through the table, those two tables stacked up.
Double tables. He front flipped off of the turnbuckle through the two tables on the outside.
That was a great match.
They fall into the stands. After
Also, I don't know if anybody has noticed this. I'm wondering if somebody will put it together. I'm almost pretty sure. I think I told Andy this. Like the first 4 spots in the match is the exact opening of Triple H versus Shawn Michaels non-sanctioned, and I didn't know if that was like a tip of the hat to them or like a little. But just the sequence looked very familiar. Like I thought maybe they were paying like a little tribute to him just for the first few moves.
I'm not sure about that. I'd have to go back. What I am pretty sure about is there's a spot where Kevin Owens is grabbing Sammy in the corner and yelling in his face. And then Kevin Owens runs into the opposite corner, but Sammy runs into. By the time Kevin gets there, he turns around and gets a haluva kick.
Right.
This is like kind of a opposite spot of I think something they did before. And then at the end of the match, when they're on the outside of the ring, Kevin does multiple power bombs to the apron like he did to him in NXT when he turned on him.
Yeah, there was some cool stuff in there.
So after the match, though, Kevin rips up the mat on the outside and is about to do a pile driver to Sammy when Randy's music hits.
Randy
returns. There's a bunch of RKOs to the security. I don't think he ends up touching KO, right?
No, he doesn't. No.
Randy should stop returning. It keeps getting overshadowed by other things.
I know. Each time it's like huge thing, like Punk returned last time.
Punk returning, and then we'll talk about how it got overshadowed for this at the end of the show. So let's get into. I liked this match a lot, man. The men's elimination chamber. It was good. It was stacked.
It was really good. I thought it was like a really good pace to it too, for a chamber.
So it was Logan Paul, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and John Cena. Starting was Drew McIntyre and no, who started?
Was it Seth and Drew, right?
Seth and Drew.
First to be eliminated was Drew, who
Which I was honestly kind of surprised about.
Eliminated by Damian Priest, right?
Or it's Priest, yeah, Priest.
Yeah, I guess this feud is continuing.
I hate to say it, I thought Damian Priest was going to be the first one out, but in order to continue the feud, you have to piss Drew off, so he had to be the first one out.
Well, because Damian did that, Drew would hit Damian with a Claymore, and I believe Logan Paul got
then he covered him, so yeah.
Yeah. So then we were left with Logan, Seth, Cena, and Punk. Logan gets out. Before we get too far into it, let's talk. You want to talk about the cool moments with Cena and Punk?
Oh man,
your guys' 2011 self.
That was so cool to see that.
You guys see the video I sent you when he says, "I miss you." He's like, "I missed you too."
And then at the end, or before they start punching each other, he goes, they hug. He's like, "I know you're trying to help." And then they just start laying into each other like back and forth. I watched that video like 20 times today. Of like the hug.
It's good shit, man. It's good shit. But yeah, I posted that video on Instagram where it
saw
shows
me
the old
cheese it.
clip. Yeah. But they showed the old clip of them at Money in the Bank, like facing each other, and then it showed like them in the chamber.
Yeah, that's where it has the sad song where it's like, it's not the same as it was. And I'm like, all right, I'm sad now, dude. As it was.
So with Seth Rollins, Punk would hit a GTS, and then Cena would hit a AA. Seth was eliminated. Then it would just be Cena versus Punk for a little bit, which me and Tim were just sitting there like, because we would think Punk was going to win. There's a lot of false finishes.
First of all, the chemistry, I can't believe it. The chemistry that those two dudes have.
It's still there.
It was amazing. It was like I got Time Warp back into 2011.
Tim said he was having flashbacks with the crossbody off the top rope, but Cena catches and rolls back.
And does
it was the exact
jump.
Sequence of it, too.
And he did the Super Cena. And, dude, I got stressed. I was like, oh, shit, Super Cena's here. I had PTSD from Orange John Cena.
Orange.
When he just beat everybody.
At this point, I had the guy in there who I wanted to win and the guy in there who I thought was going to win. Wanting was Punk, thinking who was actually going to was Cena. And at this point, I'm like, I'm actually fine with either one winning. At this point.
Yeah.
It was kind of like when Punk got eliminated from the Rumble, I was like, all right, if Cena, you can make it up to me, WWE, make Cena win.
I wanted Punk to win only because I wanted him to get that main event, but Andy has a theory of how that's going to happen. Anyway.
It's not going to happen with Logan Paul.
No. Andy has a different theory.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
But
we'll talk about it after we talk about what happened. So going back and forth, Seth would end up curb stopping Punk, and Cena would grab Punk, in a very unlike Cena way, just being taken advantage of a hurt Punk. He would what is his submission finisher?
The STFU.
Yeah, he said, "I'm sorry." And I saw a video. It was a video of the submission and Punk looking at Seth, and then they show what Rollins is looking through the gate, and Rollins is going, "Die!" And then like Punk slowly passes out. Punk passes out, and John Cena wins the chamber. So the chamber lifts up. John celebrating, right? All right. Congrats, like John. You're going to WrestleMania. You're main eventing. At least one of the nights, probably. Cody's music hits. Cody comes out, shows some respect. Like, yeah, two top guys going to face each other at Mania. Then, all right. I still will not understand why Travis Scott was there. And fuck you, Travis Scott, too.
Yeah, he's hit Cody so hard in the face. Did you see that,
It's
Jeremy?
not spoil, but yeah. Smacked the shit out of Cody later on. Someone didn't tell him that wrestling isn't real.
Someone said they forgot to tell bro that wrestling is fake. He smacks him smacks him so hard, dude.
So Travis Scott comes out first, followed by the final boss, The Rock. And,
what do you think about the entrance music? I thought that was like pretty cool mixing it in if they were going to do that.
It was better than that Lil Wayne shit that he had the other week. It was horrible.
Yeah, that was bad. That was bad.
Honestly, dude, just use your damn theme song. What are you doing? Putting all this shit in there. I'm sorry, but
The Rock doesn't follow the rules of wrestling, remember?
Yeah, we know. We get it.
So they're in there.
It's about drive. It's about passion.
And we can sum up Cody's decision to the two words he said, which was "Go fuck yourself." All right.
They didn't bleep it either. We kept it in.
The 3 words he said.
What, Rock? Go fuck yourself?
Go fuck yourself is 3 words.
Yeah, that's 3 words. Go
yourself.
Fuck yourself.
Yourself is 1 word, guys.
Okay, go is 1. Fuck is
go
2.
is 1.
I am a fucking idiot.
Yes.
How about that? Go yourself.
Go yourself.
Andy bleeped it out in his head.
Yeah. And so John's in the background, like, oh, and like clapping, like,
Hyping
yeah,
him up,
good.
like, yeah,
Hyping him up.
You're telling The Rock off, yeah.
And then, The Rock's just standing there, and John goes to hug him, and then pans to John's face.
And the
John's face changes.
It's not a face that we've ever seen John Cena make before.
And The Rock goes,
smoke him. Dude, that was my favorite part. He lifts it up, and then he goes, like a cigar.
I didn't think he went like this, but he went.
No, he goes up and he goes like the Godfather, dude. Smokes his ass.
And Cena pulls him back from the hug and then low blows him, dude.
A good low blow too. Like they made it look good.
Yeah, that was a rough one too.
He low blowed him. He just continuously beating him up. He took a microphone to his head. He took Cody's watch to his head. He hit him with Cody's title. He choked him. He tried to kill Cody Rhodes. He choked him with Cody's tie.
I just want to point out that
Tim was literally sitting there like,
yeah, I had
they
hands
did
on.
it, dude. 22 years as a babyface straight.
Finally
They pulled a Hogan turn, NWO turn.
It felt like that. It felt as
You'll
big of a
remember
moment
where you were
when John Cena, yeah,
turned heel.
that's gonna be one of those moments. I will. So during this, a couple of things. So we're watching Cody get beat down now by all three of them. At some point, my mom texted Andy to like tell him something, and it kind of like took us out of the moment for a second. So I rewound it so that Andy could see the rest of it, but Andy didn't know Andy didn't know that I rewound it. So like we look up and he's like, "All right, this is going on like a little long."
I was like, "You still beating him
And
up?"
I was like, and I said, "No, I just went back a while so you could catch up."
I was like, "God, it was like 10 minutes. He's beating him up." I was like, "Holy shit!"
He's like,
yeah,
"All right."
The Rock was back to saying "boy" and whipping Cody.
He's like,
Oh yeah, he whipped him. And then this is when Travis Scott smacked the fuck out of Cody.
Right in the eardrum too.
The
like,
Rock
right on
did
the
say
side.
afterwards that he was like, I told him to I don't know what did he say, something about because Travis Scott wanted to get his hands dirty is what he said.
And he said, "Lay it in there, boy."
Yeah, lay it in there.
Oh, Cody knew. God. I mean, this is huge, right?
I mean, it was the biggest thing
for you guys who went through the PG era.
Insane.
Super Cena.
Yeah, it's something you never thought was going to happen because of so many times like that.
I can't think of a crazier heel turn in my lifetime other than Hogan that's this big.
Now, with The Rock coming back a few weeks ago, everyone's like, "Oh, he's just inserting himself." I believe this was planned for a long time.
Yeah,
he came out at Bad Blood. He did this whole thing with the
three.
Right? With
but
this.
John,
he did this. He did this, which is Cena's thing. Just you just gotta flip it, and then did that.
But then,
and then this time he did too. So then I don't know what that is.
And then Andy, you posted that video today of the Chris Van Fleet interview where he's like, "That's what's supposed to happen, right? Like, you can't."
That was
just
February
be...
2024.
Yeah, and he's like, "You just can't be good all the time."
Because Chris said, "Imagine a time when The Rock and Cena are both a heel."
And he
I haven't seen that video.
And John's like, "Yeah, that's what's supposed to happen." But he's like, it's almost like he's hinting, like, I don't know.
And people are saying, "Oh, when The Rock was whipping Cody out in the rain, Cena was in the background on the truck, but who was also in the truck was Stone Cold." Does The Rock get involved at Mania and Stone Cold does the help?
Stone Cold said to Cody that if he ever needed help again, he would help.
So is The Rock basically in Cody's or in Cena's corner, and then Stone Cold comes to Cody's
crazy.
aid?
Trips just doesn't let us down.
But I just don't think that they just changed plans. I don't think The Rock shoved himself in late.
Yeah, well, because you got to think of the power that The Rock would hold over Cena. Like that means that, which he does, I guess, technically for being on the board. But
Cena's retirement year, he definitely had a
Cena's
say.
retirement year. Like, I don't think The Rock just came in and was like, "All right, I'm doing this, and you're going to be a bad guy whether you like it or not." Like, they had to have planned this out.
This had to have been decided, like when Cena came to them about a retirement year or whatever, and be like, "Okay, what can we do that we haven't done before? Fucking turn John heel."
Yeah.
Now, I could be completely wrong.
I feel like it has to be something like that because both Cena and Rock and Triple H just seem like long-term people.
Did you guys notice though that the Cena is doing this facial expression? I don't know how to describe it, but it's just like this angry John Cena face that like
It's kind of a weird fit. Like Cena,
It's
I don't
dead
know.
behind the eyes. Oh yeah, that one.
he's just like everything's mad. But I like it. It's just like you never see him like that.
Do you think he's gonna not wear the jorts anymore?
He
Okay,
can't.
so
Yeah.
I wanted
Tim.
to throw this out there. Later in that Chris Van Fleet interview, John said that not only they were going to do it.
During Rock
apparently.
Cena 1, he was supposed to.
Yeah, they were going to do it. John said that he had gear made and he went and recorded a new heel theme song like that weekend. And then when he came back, Vince was like, all right, never mind. We're not going to do it. But he says, dude, he said he has gear and music ready to go for Bad Guy Cena. And
Yeah, that'd be cool if he uses all of that.
I hope he wears tights. I want, or like just something so different than his normal thing, you know, like
I can't even imagine him in just long tights.
like long boys. That'd be so weird.
That was it's so weird to think about that.
Maybe like suit pants and just like no shirt. I don't know, like something like he definitely could wear some suits because he already wears suits in real life all the time.
Yeah, he'd just be more corporate on screen for wrestling.
I think.
Well,
it's
during
gonna
the
be cool.
press conference, Cena came out, just took the mic, dropped it, and walked away.
Yep.
It's great.
I wish.
And you know what? Jeremy said that he's not showing up to SmackDown. I was like, what a heel Cena thing to do. He's not even going to
Yeah,
show up
like
this
I
week.
think he's not even advertised until not this next week, but following week.
I saw a picture. He should have a shirt that says sold out, but it's SOUL.
Yeah.
Hustle, loyalty, disrespect.
Somebody.
That's actually a really good idea, Andy. Like design wise.
Somebody made one of him, like photoshopped him of like holding a like picking up a little kid and it just says give up.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Can you hear her?
Is that mom?
Yeah.
Was she singing?
Yes. That's my mom. She's not supposed to be singing. She knows I'm doing the pod. Now everyone knows I live with my mom.
You're in school. Andy's been in school for like 18 years to be an architect.
For 18 years.
Too for so long. I never stopped going to school, basically.
Yeah.
Even
And
when
he's
I was
like,
working.
school's all I know.
Well, when he's making, you'll get the last laugh when you're making more money than everybody. So
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
So yeah, Tim had brought up what I think is going to happen with Punk. I mean, people think that it's already going to be a triple threat: Seth, Roman, and Punk. You know, Roman's got to get revenge on Rollins. What if like the match that gets booked in the end is Rollins versus Roman, and Punk uses his favor to get involved in that, and that becomes.
But
Yeah,
what was his favorite? Like a favor though.
he says Paul owes him a favor. And he
So
keeps saying to
insert me in the
Heyman,
match with Roman, and you can't not have that triple threat with those three. You can't not have that main event one of the nights. Sorry, Jay and Gunther, but you're opening night one.
But we don't. Here's the thing: Seth and Roman. When you see it on the face of it, it's like, eh. But then you put Punk in, then you're like, okay, now I want to see it because now it's all three guys that I like.
I definitely think Cena and
we've already seen all these guys fight, but
Cena and Cody should definitely main event night two. I agree on that, 100%.
Yeah, that needs to end the show. Yeah.
But I think a night one triple threat with Roman, Punk, and Seth would be a cool main event.
Do you think? I mean,
It just has to make sense.
I know we don't do predictions yet. Do you think Cena wins the 17th? Ric Flair is like, I don't care if I have to get past security. You're not getting a 17th championship.
Ric Flair is crazy, but I do think Cena will win because then we'll have a heel Cena summer basically, and we imagine heel Cena and Punk.
Oh, the other thing I saw, it's like John is a heel throughout his entire basically like retirement year, and the only one that can pull him out of it is CM Punk.
That'd be a good theory too. Like he brings him back from the dark side. Yeah.
You know what would really cement though him being a heel? He takes out his biggest fan, R-Truth.
R-Truth was like, he's like,
let's not jump to conclusions, all right? And then he said, "Why, John? Why?"
No, he can't. He can't just take out R-Truth you want to do it right, he has to basically kill R-Truth. He has to like make it brutal. That will cement him as a bad guy. Chairs. He needs to do what he did to Cody to R-Truth, and then people will be like, all right.
So Ric Flair said on Twitter, "It's been 25 years since I won my last 16th World Championship. Obviously, some people know it's more than that, but this is what's recognized by WWE. 16th World Championship, according to the WWE, blood, sweat, and tears. Harley Race, Bruiser Brody, Terry Funk, Dusty Rhodes, Bret Hart, Undertaker, Ricky Steamboat. The list is endless of my world-class opponents. Unparalleled. My 1984 schedule has actually been called impossible to perform. 60 and 90-minute matches. Let's get serious. John Cena, I love you and respect you, but you ain't taking nothing from Cody Rhodes. If I have to fight my way through security to hit the ring, I will. I'll take the day off of blood thinners. Let's fucking go. Let's do this."
Day off from blood thinners. Wow.
Fucking Rick.
The thing is, but that's I just he's like, John, I love you, I respect you. This is the same guy over multiple interviews that's like, John Cena, class act, real deal, real world champion. Like talks him up, and then now that somebody's gonna break his record, he's poo pooing it.
Yeah.
I love you, Rick. I got the look back here with my title, the Ric Flair 4-disc shoot interview. I love Rick, but it's okay if John beats your record. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. Does he know it's all scripted?
I don't know if you know this or not, Rick, but it's fake.
And he's like, he throws a chair, like, no, it's not.
Would I say that to his face? Probably not. But
well, that's all I got, guys. Do you have anything to add to this whole stuff?
I don't have anything to add. I do got a little bit of an interesting classic show of the week. I believe so. We just did Elimination Chamber 2025. I'm taking us back to Elimination Chamber 2015, which I believe is Andy's first Elimination Chamber once he got back into wrestling from his break. So let's go through the card here, and a lot of things have changed. A lot of things are different. So it's just interesting whenever we do this to look back at who was in these matches. So with the regular card before the Chamber, you had Stardust, aka Cody Rhodes, against Zack Ryder. That's the opening match. Now he is the champion of the whole company in the main event. Crazy how things change. In a tag team elimination chamber match, which I don't know if they've done any of those since. You had the New Day against the Primetime Players, and who else? And Titus O'Neil and Tyson Kidd, the Ascension, Lucha Dragons. There's a lot of people in this match. It was a tag elimination chamber match. Very interesting. Triple threat for the Divas Championship: Nikki Bella versus Naomi versus Paige. NXT champion versus champion match. Okay, so NXT champion Kevin Owens against WWE United States champion John Cena.
That was good. I remember that one.
Neville versus Bo Dallas in a singles, aka what's his name? Sorry,
Pac.
No, not Pac. Uncle Howdy. Let's see, what else do we got?
Is that the chamber with all the tag teams? The tag team chamber?
Yes. Ryback. I just said that. You completely missed it while you were looking for your audio clip. Ryback against this is the Elimination Chamber match for the Intercontinental Championship. They did a lot of chambers that night. Ryback against Sheamus, against Dolph Ziggler, against Mark Henry, against R-Truth, against Wade Barrett. Okay, singles match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship is Dean Ambrose against Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins had Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury in his corner. So some of the participants in these chambers matches were the tag match was in total Los Matadores, the Lucha Dragons, the Ascension, Tyson Kidd, Cesaro, Titus O'Neil, the Primetime Players, Big E, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, And then the match, the big match that night was Wade Barrett, R-Truth, Mark Henry, Dolph Ziggler, Sheamus, and Ryback. So a lot of those guys have either gone on to AEW,
That's
retired.
not good. That's not a good
I'm not saying it's great, but I'm saying it's interesting to see 10 years ago, exactly, same pay-per-view, where a lot of these people are now and what happened to them. So worth going back and see. I'm interested in going back and watching the Stardust versus Zack Ryder match just to see how different it is to see Cody as that version. But guys, it's been another great episode. Thank you for joining us. Sorry that we missed last week. Kind of a crazy schedule, but
Do you want to? I'll have one quick thing. R-Truth tweet his latest tweet, I guess, about Cena. If you guys want to hear it, is what about C Nation? What about the fans? John, are you for real saying fuck them kids? Asking for a friend.
he's talking about him.
national
Yeah.
treasure.
He's asking for little Jimmy. Never forget Capital Punishment 2011. John Cena versus R-Truth.
Yeah.
Jimmy.
You know, R-Truth still deserved a title shot because remember that was when Punk cut his pipe bomb, and R-Truth technically won that match, which was for a titles match.
That's why it was so horrible, because everybody just wanted to see Punk, but we were stuck with R-Truth because that's what the storyline was. But yeah, thank you all for joining us. It's been a fun episode. We hope you enjoyed the John Cena heel turn and Elimination Chamber 2025. We will see you all next week. Go back and watch Elimination Chamber 2015. It's been the PW Fan. Have a great week.